This weekend marks 2025 Star Wars Celebration, and as you've probably heard, a new movie has already been announced, and we have the release date for The Mandalorian and Grogu. But this actually isn't all we've learned regarding movies. In fact, we received a list of films that are still in development, giving us an interesting insight into what's to come and what projects have possibly been silently cancelled or delayed for the long term. There's actually some interesting projects on this list, so without further ado, let's get into the upcoming films. First is the most recent announcement, Star Wars Starfighter, starring none other than Ryan Gosling. This film is coming out on the 28th of May 2027 and is being directed by Shawn Levy, who's previously directed Deadpool and Wolverine. The movie is currently in pre-production and enters production later this year. It will be set about 5 years after the rise of Skywalker, and that's pretty much all we know for now. Next is The Mandalorian and Grogu. This project was announced in early 2024 and will continue the story of this iconic duo. It will star Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin once again, and also Sigourney Weaver, bringing her into the Star Wars universe. The film is set to release on May 22nd, 2026. Now there's Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's Rey movie. This film was announced in April 2023 and will follow Rey 15 years after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, when she is rebuilding the Jedi Order. However, opposing powers rise to stop her. We don't know when to expect this film to release. Interestingly, when it was first announced, it was said to be the next Star Wars film, but that's clearly no longer the case, given that both The Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter have release dates already. Next is James Mangold's film about the dawn of the Jedi. This film was also announced in April 2023, but this one will focus on the origins of the Jedi, the origins of the Force, and how the Force was discovered. It will be set 25,000 years before A New Hope, and we really don't know much about it at the moment. It's currently still being written, and no actors are publicly tied to it yet. Now there's Filoni's movie, the final film that was announced in April 2023 at Star Wars Celebration. This film is set to conclude the Mandalorian era shows, and involve the New Republic fighting the remnants of the Empire. Interestingly, this film wasn't actually listed among the projects currently in development in the StarWars.com article I've been following. However, I don't think this necessarily means that this film has been cancelled. After all, the other two films announced with it are still coming, and The Mandalorian and Grogu was also left off this list. Although of course The Mandalorian and Grogu had its own announcement and discussion. Anyway, it probably makes sense for Lucasfilm to focus on The Mandalorian and Grogu and Ahsoka Season 2 before taking this project further. I mean, Filoni's a busy man, and there's no point rushing him. Next there's a film by Taika Waititi. This film was announced on May 4th, 2020, and although we don't know what it will be about, apparently Waititi has got a story, and it will be very much his style of film. There's also this piece of promotional art which was displayed at an investors call, but it doesn't really give much away. Development on the project has been very slow, but recently we received news that a new writer has been hired, so maybe things will speed up going forwards. One thing does seem to be clear though, and that's that Lucasfilm are very much interested in the story, and are willing to wait for it. Finally, there's a brand new trilogy written by Simon Kinberg. This was first reported on in November 2024, and in February this year we heard that a script will likely be ready by June. The trilogy will be separate from the other upcoming films, and will start a brand new Star Wars saga. Simon Kinberg is probably best known for his work on the X-Men films, but he did also work on Star Wars Rebels, so this won't be his first time working on a Star Wars project. This trilogy is something which I've not really heard any discussion about, but I find massively fascinating given its nature as the first non-Skywalker saga Star Wars trilogy. Anyway, that's all for today. Please let me know in the comments what project you're most excited for, and we hope to see you later at Vault Holocron.